I mean, I wore miniskirts,
I always wanted the best trainers.
white boots up to the knee.
Trainers and tracksuits, couldn't go wrong.
That was very fashionable, me.
Welcome back to No Ordinary Life, where ordinary people like Gavin,
Okay.
Julie, Anne, Andy,
Push that back.
April,
Okay.
Susanna,
It's really funny.
Spencer, Sarah, and B
I'm just painting pictures.
talk about their extraordinary lives.
What was fashion like?
What was fashion like then and how has it changed today?
Fashion,
Well, I find fashion goes round in circles, quite honestly.
I think it's more or less the same.
I mean, I wore miniskirts,
Trainers and tracksuits, couldn't go wrong.
mini shorts,
I was more of a trainer girl, still kind of am.
white boots up to the knee.
I always wanted the best trainers.
That was very fashionable, me.
Comment below.
I was lucky. I had, a good wardrobe.
Air Force Ones were like my favourite trainers from when I was 17 and they're still out today.
I was a teenager in the 90s.
Nike Air Maxes.
When I went to America, it was
So
bobby socks and dirndl skirts.
parachute pants,
And I see they're all coming back now.
cargo pants.
My partner at the time, my son's dad,
Mini skirts are coming back.
worked in trainer shops, so we had the best trainers all the time.
My mother was always considered a very good dresser. She always looked very smart and well dressed.
I was always a trainer girl. Jerseys, basketball t-shirts,
But then she could afford to be.
baggy clothes.
Well, for a start, she had a beautiful fur coat.
It was very like baggy clothes, bandanas,
I remember having a pair of red cargo pants
matching cargo pants.
made out of parachute material.
She had her hats made by Olga Tarup, who was the Queen's milliner.
So they screeched and ruffled as I walked.
And some wicked Timberland boots back then.
So what was fashion like as I was growing up?
What was fashion like?
I remember having like an army jacket.
I could remember getting my first pair of flared trousers.
I think it was like a Germany logo on it. Even we like everyone would wear these horrible green jackets that we got from like the second-hand shop.
Late 60s, mid 60s.
We'd all grow our hair really long into a party, and I used to have like this big curl that came up here because I've naturally got curly hair.
Probably that was the area where you saw change most dramatically.
It was like a group of us.
Up until the mid 60s, most young people dressed
We all did that
roughly the versions of their parents.
for about 2 years.
But then flares came in,
And then we all shaved our hair off
everybody buying Levi jeans and sitting in the bath
for about 2 years and started wearing
so that they would shrink to fit you.
Nike trainers and tracksuit bottoms.
Not sure whether it actually worked that.
Fashion are really bad at like say 1980.
Flower power era came in.
Fashion more 70 that it's 80.
Floral shirts.
So we had like flare jeans,
Suddenly denim became much more fashionable.
a colour top.
I remember buying a pair of pink trousers and, and daring to wear them in Swansea.
And like skinny tight top.
Yeah, I suppose I was never
Growing up,
I was never a huge fashion conscious person. I think
yeah, I say it's more 70 than it's 80, and it's like compared to now, I think it go back to that time.
I wasn't a peacock. That's for sure.
Wearing the same thing.
Fashion was one of those areas where you began to show your individuality and your generational difference.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember buying a pair of Cuban heel shoes, which looked much better than they felt when you wore them.
Stay tuned.
In the 80s, fashion was fashion.
I was very much into charity shopping. I'd be wearing hot pants suits in the day.
Everyone would be wearing it.
Boho, they'd call it now. And then long gold lame dresses at night.
If you could do anything you want, but you had to walk with style.
The conversation continues.
In the 80s, fashion was fashion.
Fashion for me was
You could create your own fashion.
early 20s.
No problem.
Quite creative.
If you wanted to create your own fashion,
my friends and I were into metal,
this was the time, the era
glam rock,
within which you could do it.
so we had quite distinct ways of dressing.
The fashion I liked in those days.
Jeans and t-shirts.
It was a time when the mini skirt came out.
And then we moved on to skinny jeans or leggings, cowboy boots.
Maybe I felt as if I didn't have the legs for a mini skirt.
Belts with big, buckles, lots of...
But on the other hand, they were long enough, I could manage to get away with it.
That massive arm of bangles, big rings.
I used to have to dress in quite bizarre outfits at times.
Earrings, lots of accessories.
Because I did promotion work for a few years.
Flouncy shirts.
And so working for sort of cigarette companies.
Band t-shirts, leather jackets.
I'd be wearing hot pants suits in the day.
That sort of thing.
And then long gold lame dresses at night to go around the theatres and things.
What is your story?
Sort of into my later teens, I became more
You could do anything you want.
I started wearing more hippie dresses.
You went out and all that you had to do,
buy really cheaply then, and cost hundreds and hundreds of pounds now,
was wear it with style.
Very thin Indian dresses.
You get me?
Long skirts, long flowing skirts.
If you could do anything you want, but you had to walk with style.
Lots of jewellery, all the sort of...
And that was everybody.
Armfuls of bangles and huge necklaces and earrings.
If someone would go out on stage and the next day...
floppy hats.
Everyone would be wearing it.
Boho, they'd call it now.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, because I'm telling you, you need to like and subscribe.
Mary Quan started things off.
Them days it was like leg warmers, sweatbands.
We used to have
anything anyone done.
Knee-high white boots were very fashionable at one point.
Tying bits of string on the bottom of your jeans was one thing that people started.
Bieber, of course, became very popular.
And everyone was trying to find out what the latest thing was that someone was going to do.
I think I was quite into fashion.
Let me explain something to people, yeah? Just so as you know, right? Because right now your kids are going like, yeah, I want Louis Vuitton, I want this and I want that. Bruv!
Yeah.
Seriously.
Art student-y.
The only kind of shoes that you could actually show off was new ones.
Very much into charity shopping.
Plimsolls. As long as it was new, as long as it was new, you were banging.
And at the time, you could buy fantastic clothes from the 50s, 60s, 70s.
You didn't need to have a brand, yeah?
You get the most amazing things for a few quid in the charity shops.
I got some new shoes.
I had the most incredible men's suits.
Yo, John's got new shoes, and everyone go look at his shoes.
Men's pinstripe suits, which I'd wear with trainers.
99 pence Winfield Plimsolls. Do you hear me?
Little children's t-shirts.
99 pence Winfield from Woolworths.
1950s suits that looked like Chanel.
Yeah, and you get these Plimsolls. Some have got the laces, some have got the elastic bands.
It altered to be little mini skirts.
That's right, you can lace it up or you can slip on.
Yeah, just create my own style, really.
There you go, I've remembered that stuff.
I just loved buying something for 2 quid from the charity shop, come home, chop it up, sew it back together and wear it as my own. I just loved doing that.
Next time.
If the younger me were to look at the world today...
What would be the biggest surprise about the world today?
Possibly the fact that we're still here.
And just like, if I woke up, is that what you mean?
That the world is still going.
I'd think I was on a different planet.
No ordinary life. Thank you for watching.
Is it important to vote? Yes, it's incredibly important to vote. We're incredibly lucky in this country, in the country I'm from, that we get a vote, that our voice can be heard. Your vote matters.
Subscribe to keep the conversation going. And don't forget to ring the bell.